Thank you for choosing Blade for your restoration business. In this video, we'll explore the Blade Invoice panel. Let's get started. It appears as a shrink and grow component within the job. Each job can have one or more invoices. The top of the invoice panel displays summary information for quick reference. It includes a lien counter to help preserve your right to collect. The counter works automatically based on inputs you provide in company settings and key job dates. Simply click the arrow button to expand or shrink the panel. Invoices can be added in 3 ways. First, click the New Invoice button to add a new invoice. Second, click the Invoice Action drop-down menu and select Copy Invoice to create a copy of this open invoice. Third, a new invoice might be added automatically by Blade when Xactimate estimates are auto-downloaded into Blade. See the Xactimate Help topic in the Support Center for more information about Xactimate integration with Blade. The Show Notes and Hide Notes buttons toggle the line item note entry feature. Add a custom line item note to each of your custom service line items. These notes appear automatically when the line item is added to the invoice. Learn more about adding custom line item notes in the Service List Help topic in the Support Center. Manually add or edit line item notes. Xactimate refers to these notes as F9 notes. These line item notes are automatically added to Xactimate estimates. They also appear on invoices printed by Blade. The Edit Invoice menu provides numerous features and functions to create, refine, and enhance the quality of your invoice. If your account has enabled Xactimate integration, the only feature available in this drop-down menu is the function to add a blank line to the invoice. With Xactimate, the invoice is finalized within Xactimate and then downloaded to Blade. We'll deactivate Xactimate integration on this demo account in a minute to show you the full scale of invoice features available to users who use their own custom service lists and pricing. Blade provides a few tools to enhance the integration with QuickBooks Online. If your account has enabled the integration with QuickBooks Online, but you have existing jobs that were created before you enable the integration with QuickBooks, use the function called Sync Invoice to QuickBooks to link the selected project, job, and invoice with QuickBooks. Once linked, Blade will keep the project and all project data automatically in sync with QuickBooks Online customer, invoice, and payment data. Click Get QuickBooks Payment Link to copy a QuickBooks payment link for this invoice to the clipboard. Send the link to a client to allow them to make an online payment using the QuickBooks Online Payment function. In order to use this feature, you need to enable the online payment feature in your QuickBooks account, and your Blade account must enable QuickBooks Online integration. Key invoice information can be edited at the top of the invoice grid. Simply click into the field and edit the information. Blade automatically saves all changes. To apply overhead and profit to this invoice, enter the relevant percentages in these fields, and Blade instantly applies subtotals to the invoice. This field contains the sales tax associated with the selected price list for this invoice. You can manually change the sales tax rate for this invoice. To reprice the invoice using another price list, select the desired price list from the Price List drop-down menu. This function is not available for accounts that have enabled Xactimate integration. Learn more about creating and managing custom price lists in the Blade Support Center. If your account has enabled Xactimate integration, you will only be able to add a blank line to the invoice using this invoice panel. However, you can edit the affected room name, description, rate, quantity, and tax fields. Let's deactivate Xactimate for this demo account and use our own custom service and price list to demonstrate invoice functions and features for those who do not enable Xactimate integration. We can now create an invoice using our own custom service and price lists. This particular invoice does not yet have invoice line items. There are a couple of ways to quickly build the invoice. First, if your technicians have already entered work performed at the job site, build an invoice from the information recorded by your techs at the job site. Do this using the large green colored button, or use this menu item to create an invoice from work performed data. Blade instantly pulls work performed information into the panel and intelligently builds a fully priced invoice while retaining the integrity of the data recorded by your techs. Another way to instantly build an invoice or add lines to an existing invoice is with custom line item templates. Click the Add Items from Template function, then select the desired template. Blade instantly adds items from the selected template to your invoice. In this case, we just added a waste hauling line, a floor cleaning line, etc. Learn more about creating and using templates in the Blade Support Center. Another way to add line items to an invoice is with the equipment log. Equipment can be added to the equipment log in a couple of different ways. We'll do it while building our invoice. You might be wondering why we would want to add equipment to an equipment log while building an invoice. Blade uses the equipment log to accurately calculate equipment runtime and automatically add equipment and equipment-related line items and line item notes to the invoice. Here's how it works. If the Use Equipment Setup log setting is checked, all equipment entered in the invoice will get added to the equipment log and not the invoice. If this setting is unchecked, equipment will be added directly to the invoice and not to the equipment log. Okay, let's add a few equipment lines to the equipment log and see it in action. Now let's record the date this equipment was taken down and decommissioned at the job site. Blade automatically calculates runtime and automatically adds equipment line items and support notes to the invoice. Learn more about the equipment log in the Blade Support Center. Another way to build the invoice is by directly editing the invoice. First, select the date the work was performed, then select the affected room. Now simply freehand type to search for the desired service item, enter the quantity as prompted, and then click the Add button or hit Enter. Pre-filter search results by using the filter function. For example, filter to only search and select attach and remove line items. This feature is especially useful to help your users become more proficient with your line items. Picking a date and room when adding invoice lines helps build a more accurate invoice. Here's why. Each line item is tagged and highly preconditioned, so only relevant line items are searchable and selectable when building an invoice. For example, the user does not need to remember to select a Cat 3 line when building an invoice for a Cat 3 job. Instead, only Cat 3 and other non-Cat line items are searchable and selectable on Cat 3 jobs. In this example, this flood cut line item is only searchable as selectable when building an invoice in Blade where the job trade is water damage, fire, or storm. And the selected visit on the invoice was an after-hours visit. The job involved Cat 3 water and waste hauling method was set to discard at the job site. Blade further simplifies invoice entry by using a simplified line item description for search text. Users can also easily browse possible line items using Blade's custom filtering system. Blade also allows you to associate service items with each other. In this example, we've associated 3 additional line items with this vanity detach line item. Now let's add that detach vanity service item to the invoice. Boom! Blade prompts the user to also add our 3 associated line items, ensuring that all billable work is properly included on each invoice. This is another example of Blade's numerous automation features, helping you more easily build accurate and complete invoices. In summary, Blade simplifies invoice creation for both custom and Xactimate invoices. Blade takes the thousands of possible Xactimate or custom service line items and heavily pre-filters and intelligently tags them. The applicable line items are presented to users in a clean, searchable format that makes sense in real work conditions. Aided by Blade's integrated automation features, users can easily and accurately build an invoice to capture work performed, supplies consumed, and equipment used each day of the job. The bottom section of the invoice includes a dual-purpose tool, a detailed log of financial transactions, and a timeline of major invoice milestone activity. This register enables teams to track payment flow and escalation history. It also supports internal accountability by showing who made each entry and when. This data is used as source information for several reports in Blade. Clicking each of the three multicolor dropdowns, pre-invoice, carrier, or client, presents a menu of milestone and payment-related options. A couple of things to note. First, the system does not know or recognize that the carrier or client owe any amounts due until you record that an invoice was sent to either the carrier or client. Meaning, if you only record that the client owes a deductible in the payment register, the balance due from the client will be zero until you reflect that an invoice was sent to the client. Second, Blade pulls the actual invoice amounts into many entry dialogues to help you quickly enter correct dollar totals. Thus, it is important to keep the invoice totals accurate to ensure the payment register and all associated reports are accurate. Third, Blade will not allow you to enter items out of sequence or duplicate entries that can't be duplicated. For example, the first invoice sent can't be recorded as being sent multiple different times. There's only one first invoice sent. Fourth, selecting and entering one of these milestones does not automatically execute the recorded activity. For example, entering sent carrier the initial invoice does not automatically send the invoice to the carrier. These milestones and payment activities simply record when the activity occurred and the dollar amounts affected. Pre-invoice milestone entries are optional. The pre-invoice dates displayed here in the activity log are optional and can be used if you wish to see key pre-invoice milestones in one location together with billing milestones. Carrier milestone entries track payment activity and key milestone events related to the carrier. These entries are not optional if you wish to accurately track receivables and payments. Client entries track payment activity and key milestone events related to the client. Learn more about each of these three milestone tracking features in the invoice section of the Support Center. Lastly, let's circle back to the top menu items. Apply default tax rate, sum the invoice, and reprice the invoice are all functions to refresh and recalculate invoice totals. Make PDF contains a list of custom PDF invoices you can create using this invoice. These newly created documents are automatically saved in the document repository for this job. Open these documents for edit or merge them with other documents to create custom reports. Blade allows you to customize the invoice header and other information. Learn more about customizing invoices in the Invoice Settings section of the Support Center. All right, that's a good overview of the desktop invoice tool. Explore other training modules in the Support Center to get the most from Blade, the software that helps you maximize profit and quickly turn your hard work into cash.